and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Tabando Jadavi giving is on letter into Tondan Jojo, he did Chula Sanzo Lotone, around the Labadala of the Tambayun. Gendon Lions arms are Lord Dodin Janjitala, Mapamala, Pamotor by the Vandon, Vakaju Lama, Nolas arms are law. Women in the Poronet, some Sanja Gunjamo, and Rasan Jugomo, some Savalama, Yola goes on. But then Lama and what you dug with your women, the Yonagar and Jimbo on the coast on Todio, says I'm the Margenda Jajin, Yasom, Bonhio, Jilos, or some Jin, the one on Jim. Good morning, everyone. Tatiring or Rochikan Gumbo Kawana retained Kongwandum Nansitan Gumbo Kolaya Desama or Motundo Senanda, Descent Hisi and Outender. Tremadu tearing the way. Anthony and the knee lodging dog Kashin Gumbok. Out the Gatan, the Tesseracatit and Imam of Toronto Highins.
So today Gachen Rinpoche will bestow the Mahakala empowerment, and right now Rinpoche is doing the self-empowerment, and in the meantime this morning I'm going to give an introduction, some explanations on the background, some stories about Mahakala. So there is a few of those accounts here in this text that I will introduce you to.
The name Mahakala Nanchu Lapa de Tri any Puju number. Ta Karsagore Nalanda Nima down the number. To Tokosuma. Tondo Tamakala Chadure Pujuna the Jung Samak Soma Tamjagan and Kachishus in the Mahakala. The Chadurava.
So, regarding Mahakala, in general, is a protector of the Buddhist teachings, but in particular, in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, he's said to be the main protector of, especially the Nalanda University. So, it's a general protector of the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, and among all of the protectors, he's considered most important.
The Kararisina Mahakala and Nata Nangamuni, the Jagani Nalanda, Bakamashir to Soka, Soma Rindwa, Lopon Ludun is on the Tat, Tokosuma, Kachishu, the Mahakala Chadere, Tinitini, Rambajan the Ma, or Nalanda, Chuju, the Pola Malepanese on the Tini, Soma and Chacha Lama, Pola, and the Senate town, attended Rindwa. Then many yin so matamche ta sosu longbak chip dang yang sosu chuju la mixa kan rewa unique te la so ba yang che chu soso la ten te ke so ma mixa wa re yo de ba to so so che ten da che chuju soso che che jor go so man do che yong yo mare.
And so in the old days, Mahakala was the protector of these monastic institutions of Nalanda and Vikramalashila in India. And so starting with Nagarjuna, really the master Nagarjuna, Mahakala became the most important protector. And then gradually later on, then as the teachings also arrived in Tibet, then also Mahakala arrived in Tibet as the main protector. And he's unlike many of the other protectors, because many of the other protectors are not protectors in that general sense, but more they are protectors in a certain geographical region, a place, or they are the protectors of a certain Dharma lineage, or they are protectors of a certain Dharma teaching, specific Dharma teaching. But they are not actually protectors of general protectors, like Mahakala is.
Tani Mahakala laina che re manda wa mambo yo de warida. Rite tani kotrujan rahote Mahakala chikrang tani tela che namba mambo che ta sa do sani ba je sonendo kurgu ta yung je son ta mambo che yore men so so labden ma den de tamche anche zo jigle tani o che Nima le ser na yin je len de sen tani trepa na ba na cho pan do che yo de wa rin do ma to de anche so so ta de yin ba de je ga yin sa ma re zhe ye de ji ba ran ri da.
And so while there are many different kinds of Mahakala, different forms of Mahakala, there is only a single basis of his emanation, his arising. So there are many ways in which he appears, like the 6-armed Mahakala or the 2-armed Mahakala, or many of the other names. He has many different names. But what's most important to know is that these all are emanations which appear just like sun rays appearing from the sun. And they are not actually separate, but they arise from one single basis.
Pena tatanga zungurun sinje sen la bu yorwa te ngurun bo che ka trupa namba je te yang da che ne ka manda wa ta che tok se re le ngudru re thop sen anda da den de ka sen nan so re den de sen ne che namba je ndo tatanga zo ke chame shin du jung ngurun sinje sen yor te yang che ngurun bo che ta ta de ma yin ba ke namba je ndo song yorwa pe te na yin gong bo re ma bo yor te.
For example, we are all familiar with the 8 manifestations of Guru Rinpoche, the 8 names of Guru Rinpoche. And while there are 8, there is still only one Guru Rinpoche, but having 8 different manifestations. So he appears in those different ways due to having attained a certain kind of realization or a siddhi, an accomplishment. And when that was attained, he appeared in a certain way. And so there were 8 different ways in which he appeared. But all of these 8 manifestations are not separate from Guru Rinpoche. There's just one Guru Rinpoche. And so it is similar with Mahakala. There is one Mahakala, but appearing in many different ways.
Teni kama kaju sola na gumbo pena chinsen sa ni panda wata yang sa to panda wata tereng wang te ta lama ngap chi pakanang ke gumbo te sa ni pa cha de ore ta na yin chi ta na ba gandu je yoro mero ton te che gumbo che rang te yang gumbo te dem jo ke to che doran da che kollo dem jo che soma gut sort ko yan wan da. And
if we don't recognize him in this way, then it might appear that there are many different Mahakalas. So in the Drikung Kagyu lineage, for example, the principal form of Mahakala that is practiced is the 4-armed Mahakala. And then the Karma Kagyu, for example, they practice the 2-armed or the 6-armed Mahakala. But today's empowerment, it comes from the 50 Drikung empowerments, and the manifestation of Mahakala in there is the 2-armed Mahakala. But in any case, in whatever form he appears, in reality there's only one Mahakala, and Mahakala is an emanation of Chakra Samvara. So he appeared in physical form as a protector of Chakra Samvara.
Tene druje den kolo dem jo yina yang te ta chik somo chot ko tro yang wa den la yang jo dan jin ka he la tin yong do wa den de ko lo ju sen ta ka wa mambo ge ngon ni sha ti kap se yang number tin ba de yo de ba yin sa re gelong jang bo yong tin chen ni dan tin ba sen ta pe gelong Zedin Rao, Yabuji, Tenduji, Tene Kong Da, Yadamji, Nyamlingachi, the Lomba Yimba de la Tendusena, Songsari. Then Langaji, Jatrinji Lanchena, Tiniti Jawoteka, Tacho Nalomba, the Nakalan and the Chotos and the Junendo in the Duzen. Jawoteka Tanaka Tandua. The Niti Gelante Tanapepte saying do Tilagante Nambula Rimodo, Jawote Namba in Samare, Cosarindua, Tikapsa Saro Naro, Nambatindus in Yavasari. Then he Gelante Tanademodua. On the chilo de maris te sravari tini te de jawo de zbasan gelon la tini chebache korang ke mal te tini gelon de nin sung dao sen do mai ju nin dong de sen
가르치기도
se
세레
de tini nin sung dao sen 당보 mai dong tini nin dong la so ba sen nin sung dao sen
갈래갈래지
갈래갈래스나 다 된다고 teni gelon de pe sen pam teni chi control yang la teni pe molam tam do ta ko ngan de se nyeme be su tesi de ngam ma on ba la teni ko da sha lan ta ba che ko thon nu ba chen bo le re teni de je wa le na ta kon ko tan je ba ngai teni ku da dang ngan no ba se ba na yin sin ko so to le hong hyo je na molam ta so ten de sen gelon de zhong do.
So the basis of emanation is Chakrasamvara. So he arises from Chakrasamvara in the form of a protector. And there are many different causes and conditions that came together that led to his appearance. And so there's one story, for example, many eons in the past also the Buddhist teachings did exist, and so at that time there was Gelong, so a fully ordained Buddhist monk, and he was a very good monk. He had all the qualities of training, of learning, so he was an authentic good monk. And so he traveled to a different place in order to practice a certain Yidam deity. And so on the road, he crossed a certain kingdom where he met the king, and the king invited him to stay at his temple, to visit his temple. And so the monk accepted, and he went to this temple, but it turned out that this temple was not a Buddhist temple. It was some other religion's temple. And so at that time there were different religions, and so then that monk said, I won't stay here, this is not my religion. And so that made the king really angry, and so the king punished him, and he gave him a very cruel death sentence of being kind of killed slowly, of first having taken his eyes taken out and then his heart taken out and so on. And so while he was dying in this way, the monk was very angry at that king, and he made an aspiration, praying that in a future life may I come back and take revenge with that king. And at that time may I have all that power so that I will be able to kill him in the same way that he is killing me. And so this is how this monk then died.
Dendala tene te ta gelon te ge wa ya lap chen bo sa ya tu tene molam de ndom ro ya ta tene sonam sa ya ba te la tene tene che to dan ne ba chen bo yo ba che chan ro ya ta te mom sonam zo te ya ge so lo ko na che tha pa tan tham chen chen ba sal ro ya lap chen bo ta tene den sam jor ta che she dang dang te la so wang so na yang te ga na yin ke koram top chenpo che chan ruwa. Tela tine tene yap la tang, yom nu jin, tende che ke pala chi, tene tata che chowo ke namban rawa che yo pa la, sa in cho yo pa. Gombo tata ngarong gombo sa ke cho. Gombo sa ro dong la go yo rwa, sa in go yo pa. Tanda jega tani tom ne ba pe chenpo chin che cha tani dega tangbo ta ko molam taba na yin se ne te jawo tang khor tang che ba khorang po tang che ba tang che mek tu nyeng tong tanda se tani khorang ka ma ma ri tang kon bang ri mang bol tani se wa se ne te ma che ga tani tong me ga ma te jakam mang bol tani pe se wa se ndo ni ka sim bon do ndo cha so do.
And so now this monk, of course, before that, he also had practiced virtue. And so he had some merit, but then also he made this aspiration. And that in combination then led to him taking birth in a very powerful form. So actually the merit, the virtue that he had created could have become the cause for attaining the state of liberation and all-knowingness. But then it was intervened by anger, hatred, and due to that, this merit then led to this corrupt aspiration, the fulfillment of this corrupt aspiration as being born a very powerful being. So he was born the son of, the father was a god and the mother was a yaksha. And he was born in a very wrathful appearance, and he had a beak, like a bird's beak. Just according to his prior aspiration, he again encountered the birth of this king, and he killed him along with his entire retinue in the same way that he had aspired, taking out the eyes, taking out the heart, and so on. And not only that, he killed all the people, he massacred the people of this whole country, and then for no reason really caused a lot of violence in many of the other countries wherever he went. So he basically turned into a monster.
Teni ta tende che cha sundu tang kolo demjo ko trwa ka yang ko so lo ha jorsina ri so yang damla yasina ri tende sinin den kolo demjo ko trwa teni ta so ka gu tam yase teni telatin korang ka yang che ta Kailan tam jatang, teni soganyin bo person. Ta soma tangla yadu sonyin person, teni soma rela sonyin rela yore. Te per. Te matse tata te ngompon korin la mangpo ti dawa tia ti kapsuni koranda simbo chade ba kapsuni yo de ban korin la re de yore. Tege chama cho teni kago tam yasen soma la joni. Koran soga kailan tam jatang. Tani sanchol jod semjiata tendesen tani zonko yongsu zoba de ta karse broche nambo soma senanda koran sola che ta babo tam kanol cha senanda tendeje ko goni chota ta anda nga zongo mo kan kortan je bate tani somari sha.
And so at that time then, Chakrasamvara manifested in order to bind him under oath, subdue him by binding him under oath. So he was bound under oath. He took a promise, a commitment before Chakrasamvara, and he offered him his life force and heart. So this is what actually always happens when the protectors are bound under oath. They each have their life force and heart, which they then offer to the one who is binding them under oath. So this is how he was then bound under oath. And then also at that time when he was a monster, he also had his retinue, of kind of army-like retinue. And all of these beings in his retinue then became the retinue of this new protector, that is Mahakala. So he was bound under oath and became Mahakala, and the retinue of that monster then became the retinue of Mahakala, and all of these beings in the retinue also took the same promise, the same oath. They were all bound under oath. And then eventually they all gave rise to bodhicitta. So they became a principal protector together with a complete retinue, and became the protectors of the Buddhist teachings, or we can say they became like Dakas and Dakinis and so on. So now they are Mahakala and his retinue.
Tene ta karwandela segro yang deba sanji tamje ka yang soma sen dron tele mangbo sesa ta tenga sanje koranje serta osong sen sanje som song cha yore tege tamje ka tula yang Mahakala te soma sen do dron tele mangbo sesa ta ba je mangbo sesa ka laje yosare Then that I shall get a book capsule, shall get a Congus Yondo book capsule. Then they do done gombos in the Tatana on Rando, John Madogde, take number Mandava Goni, Sanjay Shakatapa Layang, don't Mamboses at the Yore.
And so then also he appeared in this kalpa, this aeon, to protect the Buddha's teachings. And he has been the protector of all the Buddhas who have so far appeared in this aeon. He has appeared to become their protector in their enlightened activities and to clear away any kind of obstacles to their teachings. So far, 3 Buddhas have appeared in this kalpa. The last one was Kashyapa. And in all of those times, he appeared to be their protector, the protector of their teachings, and clear away hindrances to those teachings. And also now in the present time, the time of the Buddha Shakyamuni, even when the Buddha Shakyamuni was actually alive, at that time too, he appeared to protect the Buddha's teachings, but he did not appear in the form of Mahakala that we know now, that he's known with now. But he appeared in many different ways to assist and protect the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings.
Tene tata na yinge che ngombo sen che yondanda o te sonyate lopon luduk tuni songdwa lopon luduk ke tambo te chogangandani dok yamjin jinje dok ko do sen ta te do chitang do che sa ma te la manjin do ta ren bo che ke don do jin sa re tende je ko che tang gombo sa ni ba ko then sign joy about the Naji sign you sign go choosing John Commodore choosing there. Then you back a dog young in Tony, then Gombo dog going to Tate, Nambak so much in Sari, Gong Conagatola, Tate, Pa Gumbala, Quankites, Molamdo Jabdo, Tate Nanchugo Sumando Chiena, the Nalanda la dosen paying shop pero nando zen tendes monlam jabala tinete dogo te ramzo korangche kindom da dindom kaya mesingani gomba leb devare
Todi leb
dogo te tendes leb deva tendu jiri
Nalanda
la leb deva tenite ta tenizon te gombo sujete mendo cha teni
Toti Kanarasan Kulop.
The Cho Ganganani.
Chu Gangan.
Cho Gangan and the Jin Tongsoma. Then Korangatan Ambusuma Rishagon, then the same Molamjan. They Gompana lives over it. Then it Gompa Sumala good. They Gompa near the dead. Then the same and Alenta Catanita Somate Gomboy. Then the Kubyanda was then the Saint Vaticaps.
So the Mahakala, as we know him now, really came into existence in this form, in this way, starting with Nagarjuna. And Nagarjuna found a stone, not an ordinary stone, like a precious stone, in the river Ganges. And this stone appeared as it was a self-arisen form of the 2-armed Mahakala, with like a bird's head and the beak, and so then Nagarjuna made a prayer, and he recognized that this must be the protector of the Buddha's teachings. So if this is really the case, if this is truly a protector of the Buddha's teachings, then may he arrive at the Nalanda University. And so then this self-appearing form on a rock of Mahakala, actually nobody brought it there, but it naturally, miraculously appeared at Nalanda University. And in this way, he was recognized as the protector destined to be the protector of Nalanda University and the Buddhist teachings. So then he was in a way kind of instated or officially made the protector Mahakala.
This Sanje Jomdin the Gomba Ju pe Mambo Song Yaba Rido. This is the near Lobon Lodokata there the Nina. The Nitin and the Gompoke Jutan Dota Ramada pe Mambo Jong Yore.
Actually, the Buddha himself is said to have taught many of the Mahakala Tantras, and later it was Nagarjuna who discovered them in a form as like treasure teachings. And there were a whole cycle of teachings, many Tantras and many sadhanas.
Parkapjela Lobon Lodolata Tata Nalanda Tesarakachi. Temdawaji ton, tem thosinanda. Taki to capture pe Kalacombo, Muenda Jondoa. Moya Jongo Caps Lopon Ludo to the Sanger Gazessin. Jack Ninganda Waji. Naji do sina Yuzo Jesarawa. Or Tendaka Sanger Gazakati, Nata Latine. Tini do the sina in Patson. Ti Yombaka, Tata Gompatella. The capsule saw that Gendron Bata Logic, Moiga Mahua, Tendic Tapinandua. Then it sees the Gombat in Kimboka Hakone, then one is an the virtue than Twingomadoa. The virtue than Montune, then the Gendron Tamje, Lopens or Jorson Dosen. Then Lord Juniper, the part Toyer is a lot prayer. Then Mate Koran Shapala Supermambo Sigua is on Koran Lama. Koran Lama can understand Papi Yarava. Then he take up so Lopon Tambo to Pamra also in Lama Gari, Shapa Siguris. The Lagan Mambo, Lagan and Chuti Mambo, the Casacala Yentes. They and Koran Latinici Tachi Hibando Logi, Yimbatic, Trontan and Tennessee. So worry. Then he take Lagan Mambo Yensa to Lopon Lodula, Tachi. Labdonda was in or Tassacha Jilla, Charan Rotang, Tanatini Terka Yoris, and Gombuchuku, Terka Mambo Yoris, Tinite Charan and Dravayo de Varishas, Tetra Lana, Tinitina Nichi, Juta, Drupta Mambo younger is, Tinicharan Yanjapa Lagan Soso, Latendesin, Somatos and Gombo, Somatendesin, Yaya younger is. Then Dawajik said Anthony. Tina is in Lopon Lodoka Yanki, Jutan, Dr. Mamboji Penito Sayori.
This is love song. Lam Kendi. Magic.
That Logic. Logic. Marang in summary.
And so then one time it happened that Nagarjuna transgressed some of the rules of the Nalanda University. And how that happened is that there was a time where food was rare and there was a widespread famine. And so he had this ability to transform ordinary rock into gold, like an alchemist like ability. So he transformed through mantra and some elixirs, he transformed ordinary rocks into gold. And having turned those things into gold, he sold them and used the money to feed the monks at the monastery. So, and this is how then the monastery made their living, so to speak. And the monks ended up not dying from the famine, so that was a skillful means. But then later, when the abbot of the monastery found out, what Nagarjuna did actually go against the Vinaya teachings. So then the abbot of this monastery found that actually the monks were being sustained by a corrupt livelihood. And so therefore Nagarjuna was actually expelled from the monastery for 12 years. And he made many confessions, but it was still his own Lama, actually his guru, who expelled him from the monastery. And at first, Nagarjuna was very sad about that, but then he also thought that this is the command, the instruction of the guru. He performed many confessions, and then to amend for that, he constructed temples all over the place. And at that time, he received the help of many local spirits and Nagas. They helped him with the construction of those temples. And after having completed the construction of these temples, there was a Naga who said to him, there is a certain place that you should go to. And at that place you will find a treasure teaching, the teachings of Mahakala. You have a connection to these teachings. So if you go there, you will find many tantras and sadhanas of Mahakala, which you can then bring to the various temples that you have constructed. And then since there's many different emanations and sadhanas of Mahakala, then each temple will be assigned a certain form of Mahakala as their protector. And so this is how Nagarjuna then found the various sadhanas and tantras of Mahakala.
Jatanji, the Sama Latini, Somata, Gombokun, Koranga Tatatina, Judan Druta Mambo, Telesoma, the Solatina. Tundusiju song your. They need to see the Talo Mambola Lobon the Pate Yarva, Lopsol person, Yodora, Telagan Yinjula Las of the
Lozola.
Lopso Tata, Bargeres as a Jit and Yodes.
Bargesikare? Kova?
Barger, Lopso.
Barger,
Bargeres and the Tani to Captilla, Tata Nalanda, Mategua and Sevasomare. Mategua and Sevasina, that's Rubagone. Matela Rizi La Sopacape, Tani Chick Sema, Tendaka Netin Tombo. Coranzo Tawa Petang Sabo here, Sarwa. Nambala Jubas in it, Timba Jimlo, Yon Jubasi or Savannah was. The Nin Sansan in Nambake Lake Yomare. Nambale Chick Ripa, Telemama Coranzo La Kimia, Yosarwa. Then this in a number Pamdo Caps of the Timba the Jodo Yore. Timajelo Tendus in it, Savannah number Jubas in it. Patches Chishute Matagua, like Jacando top. Dear Johnson, Pache, Nalanda, Matagua is on Savando in the Charles. The Niti comes Tatena Yopake, Tankin Bota, Lama to Candena to Soke. They don't go bolas or Tabua. That's so mal. Kosok Lama. Gombolas or Tasene. Tene Kozoka Lama Talata, Malamna Nichone. The Tate doing Gomboka Kutin, Gondra, to Soyora. That Ambotella Chitzokten, Matewaka, Prahadavia Yoris. Teach around of the passes.
Compogesung.
Gomboka, Malamnani. Malamnan, Consalama. Mongola, Matepaka, Tene, Praha, Ningaji, Zoya Yoris. Te tambo palans, teni te chirans of Tendra Nimbo, Mambo, that any time Mambo Jipihan Rose, and Tendra Tambo Rundu Dogundos and Tesondoa. Teni Korans of the Malan and Swana, Lama de la Malan and Swana, Yikta, Gumbo Gonda and God and provide. Go Labana, he said, Yodevaricha. Teni te passi, truce, teni tata. Malana ni piwa songana yinga tani tendra nyembo ta ka hin tindo ta nge timu do kantana ta piwa ka hin tindo te drup te se tani te tendo je tsawe jus tani ngombo ka khozola lo de jongwa ngombo de sarok saporo je kon yen tani telan chinji ti ye chinji ti Tango Lurupsala, Tango Dotin Trinte. That they didn't train Jagata Tati, Usoni, Lopson Drogona, Dawa Mambo, Hojera. These are all taken train case on it. Gombutratic. Tia Garji was in that, Lobon Lodolata, Mate Bucket and the Senate. Nalanda, Kozuchulo Jordo, Takarta region, changing. Tandua.
You get drinking Gombora.
Gombo Mare.
Lama
Lama.
Kung Lungten.
Oh, then the gold is in Gompocola. Then Gompo Saporo, Journey, anything change the case of
Macro person.
Person, Java Sola, Gombo Lobel does it personally. Then she ate and Gombo Lodro Terry. Tatambo Tela.
So Nagarjuna constructed, it is said, 108 different temples, and then each of these temples had assigned to them an emanation of Mahakala as their protector. And so this all emerged from these treasure teachings that Nagarjuna had discovered. And so then years later, then Nagarjuna was traveled to the South India. The glorious mountain. And so anyways, at that time in Nalanda, things became quite heated because there was a lot of debate going on between the Buddhist philosophers and the non-Buddhist philosophers. And the non-Buddhist philosophers, the Tirthikas, they had very high knowledge and high views. They could really debate in a very eloquent and skillful way. And so at that time there was a lot of debate going on, and sometimes it happened that the Buddhist debaters would not win. And so the victory went to the Tirthikas. And so one day the Tirthikas won the debate, and then things became really critical at Nalanda University. And so then the masters there and the abbot and so on, they all then supplicated to Mahakala. And then there was this Mahakala representation, like a statue there, and then also one of the lamas there, the masters, had a dream, and Mahakala appeared, this form of Mahakala appeared, and he said that, he spoke to him and said that at my crown, the Tirthikas have planted an evil kilaya, a purbam, into my crown, and it was kind of sealed with evil mantra. So first take that off, and then recite various mantras such as the dependency mantra and so on, different mantras, and do various practices. And so then after that dream, it happened just like in the dream. It turned out that this particular statue did have a kila, a purba, planted into its crown. So they took it off and they performed various purifications on it. And then according to the instructions in the dream, they recited these mantras, the interdependency mantra and others. So they did all these practices. And then again, Mahakala, through this statue, gave a prophecy, and so he manifested in this form of like a crow, and he said, "You have to write a letter to Nagarjuna to explain the situation." And then, of course, at that time in India, so they were in central India, and Nagarjuna was in the south of India, and that would have meant traveling for many, many months for that letter to reach Nagarjuna. And so then he manifested as this bird, this crow, who took the letter and just straight flew there, and then conveyed this message to Nagarjuna, brought the message to Nagarjuna. And so in the letter, it basically said that Nalanda is being taken down by those Tirthikas. They have won the debate. So this far.
Tene lopon lo dola tin train den jone. Tene ta lopon lo dola te du ta loma ayanda was. Yorwa. Ayanda wa de juji re se yore. Pe tene ta kepa chimbo re wa. Tene lopon lo do ko gomba la ta mate ba te cho khapte cha ya sinandra ndo ya sinandra kepa yimba ti bo ken de ga yo mare. Juji na. Tene tele chan tene je gupa tan gensi mambo yo sare. Te lopon lo do ko ta ayanda wa. Ndo ko re so. Tende so. Teni ayan the one Roa Savalate, Lobun Lodo, training Dawson. Takan do than Zuba Jagoro. Lobun Lodo taken Srom Mate with Tawazo.
This go. Also, Niga Pera.
My ayan the one Royo.
Unchipo Pera.
Ayan the Penkepa Chimboro. In Jujiare, Nakim Marava. Yena te Kon Rota Kandi Yonsari Tan, Tajitan. Lobun Lodo than Zuba Jagore. Lobun Lodo Mateba Yambana, you see. Penkepareva. Mateka Tawala Penkeparo Lobun Lodo. The ayan the one Nambana use it. Lobun Lodo Srowana use it. When you take Soba Jatesan. That turning down of Yorova. Then the Chick Soba down. Bagajela ayan de Tesum San. Ludo Muni Matepa inside his uncle, the Charita. Hamton Gola Japsagology or Matek. Ham going Gola Usayore. To one Matepa Rikasan. Matepa the Chamarva. Understand it. Then the ayan de Watsota Tati Gompana Yon. Then he Matelu Zuba just a lodging Mambo Yorata.
And so that letter reached Nagarjuna. And one of Nagarjuna's disciples was Aryadeva. And Aryadeva was actually miraculously born and also a scholar. So he had both of these qualities of being a scholar and also miraculously born. And so now Nagarjuna felt that since those Tirthikas in Nalanda are so scholarly, advanced in their, in their knowledge, that knowledge alone will not defeat them. They also need some miracles. So that's why he thought of sending Aryadeva there, since he possessed this quality of miraculous birth and also being a scholar. And so before going, they did like a kind of a role play, a training for that. So Nagarjuna pretended to be a Tirthika. He was a Tirthika because in the end Nagarjuna was very knowledgeable too, great scholar. And then Aryadeva was the Buddhist. So then they were debating, and Nagarjuna acting as the Tirthika. And Nagarjuna apparently acted so well that Aryadeva really developed some doubts about Nagarjuna, and he thought that he probably is a Tirthika. And he's someone, you could just he needs shoes thrown over his head, a hit over his head. Of course, this is not true. He was not a Tirthika. But anyways, this is how it all started with Aryadeva being then sent to the monasteries and doing many debates there.
Any lopon lodo de Nalanda Gumpa la Pemne. The name Matelo Tuban de Sayuanga, so that logi or it. The name Matek Tavians in Kepa Chemboro. Taviang. There's sister Nambolo Chasova. Matek Tavian, that's so Papa Yamama Baja. The need so Parapati Bogan Jakato look a pingamadova. Young Zumtron Jingodova. Matek Ball is the Zumtro Yoda, sorry. Jumtrogo Gonea, I am the Jakato. Relango Gonea, I am the Jakato. The native Mateka Lopon to Taviang Sujete, Nambolo Charava. I am the Lama Chan and Nambolo Geda Chimbo Chichumari. The need Delatin and Tata Gompa to Chaptopa Matse. The need Tata Surova Lopon in Nambanjo, the Tenipe Nambachude, T. Junior and Tachap, Alelaba, and so on. The time check and Gompa to one channel at any John Yobala. Then the same when they say Yorba.
So then he went to Nalanda University to debate there. And so there was many debates going on. And so once he had this big debate with the master, I know the Sanskrit name now is Dayang. And so he, in the end, later actually also turned into a Buddhist master. So for many days they were debating there, and so only debating in itself was not enough. Actually, the Tirthikas were also very good with their miraculous abilities, and so there were many contests happening, and Aryadeva won them all. He won the contest in debate and also the contest in miraculous abilities. And then finally, after that, the Tirthika Dayang, he also actually became a Buddhist master, and later actually a quite famous master and a disciple of Aryadeva. And so then at that time, Nalanda was secured. It did not decline, and actually it flourished, and many of the Tirthikas then converted into Buddhists, and so Buddhism then spread in that way. And it is said that this is all due to the enlightened activities of the protector Mahakala.
Tasuma ke tontele tendre dawo se ne je sanje tin ba sun job sele ma to khotsungusa che pa ngu jinjin gon ja se yo jo samarwa gombo gamba ta ba te pa chik sele to le la so ba te dawo se se yo jo samare jo jin tin de mambo jol tu do go yo ba.
Yeah, so this is how the protectors appear to protect the Buddha's teachings. So the way they protect the teachings is not that they appear as this fierce form like Mahakala who comes and cuts people and kills people and so on and gets rid of them. But it just leads, the protection it means that many causes and conditions arise that then lead to a certain result.
Tene gompu chuka ta lobon lodo ke tene thomba mambo che judan ro ta yo pat so chachang da ayan da wala nang yo re tene ti ta jupa sun chon da ose na ayan de wa ke koran go loma loi san jo se wa je la nang re son do te ke tun khor wa che wa zo je de che wa tang chung wa ni ngap sen do ni sa re ma tun khor wa che wa la nang wa re Teke tunkorwa chungwa la nawa reis. Tene teke jaga lopon chimbo abaya kara se chute la nawa reis. Abaya kara ke tsame sanje taba la nawa reis. Sanje taba ke tene bhukama parchin galo tsawa asena. Tang gompa kuchuka mang yoki dendri oni te galo tsawa re. Tene sene juba toksi tokdi yo reis sondo.
And so then regarding the lineage, then how it was passed on. So all of these sadhanas and tantras, the teachings on Mahakala were then passed on by Nagarjuna. He passed them on to Aryadeva. And then Aryadeva passed them on to his own disciple, Loyi Changchup. And he passed them on, there's I'm saying it in Tibetan, the great Dukorba and the smaller Dukorba. So first he passed it on to the Dukorba, and he passed it on to the small Dukorba. And then he passed it on to another Indian master, was it Abhayagara? And then he passed it on to Sangye Drapa, and he passed it on then to the Tibetan master Ga Lotsawa. And so then in the Tibetan tradition, therefore, most of the Mahakala lineages trace back to Ga Lotsawa.
Ga Lotsawa de tambu konche sate kam kola risha. Teni lomye de wuzang sola se teni ramba yento jagala pe Lotsawa jang. Tende se ne teni Nalanda la pe lobjong mangpo se teni chamla yang yuren de teni ti jini ta kongzo den gompo jogon wa lama je ko longte sen serwa chalo son teni te lo tu serwa chal tu serwa chalo son tanan chamla do son kong tana tan teni kong tana son teni chamla tana yo bare gompo jogo yor kong.
Disko kobo lo to konge longdana yore.
Mare.
Lama chiki longdana yore.
Gompo lo do yo mare.
Nalanda ge lama chiki.
Lama yin pati.
Teni tela ti totula khare tok tela nyamlen chus.
Tutu se wa sala sonne.
Tela.
Ta kong gompo do go yorwa. Gompo do sa gompo ne sa ne chik tutu se wa sare wa. Ne tela sonne teni ta chang te lo mangol na sana do sem taware yo.
And so Ga Lotsawa was born in Kham, the Kham region, in eastern Tibet. And later he traveled through central Tibet and to India, to train as a translator, and he also studied at Nalanda University, and he also did retreat for a very long time. And so at that time, when he was at Nalanda University, one master gave him a command, a prophecy, and he said, since he was a practitioner of Mahakala, that like a holy site of practicing Mahakala is this charnel ground, you should go there and practice Mahakala in retreat there for many years.
Lama tata abayakara tata koni abayakaras te jaga eri Nalanda rimado baka mishir zulaka kon tana de abayakara ndene wanlong shu la kwartung gumbu korte shu tene kon dajar sen lo duna chamla yobare dajar sen go bet pa chane tene sen lo duna tana chamla yob lo dun changla yudu tani tata ti korang la tutu se wa chala song song nying ke la long ten na nying ten ngu po re sha.
So here, Abhayagara Kongalamara.
Really?
Yeah. So his guru was actually Abhayagara, and he was actually from the Vikramalashila monastery, not Nalanda. And from him, he received the empowerments and transmissions and so on, various of them, and in particular of Mahakala. And so then he went to this charnel ground according to this prophecy by this guru, who actually was an emanation of Mahakala. And in that place, then he practiced in complete closed retreat, so where everything, his whole place was completely sealed off for 7 years.
Tene kon lo duen gen samde churtune tanga to sewa chala chongko te tang ro yin pe san chang do cha yin je den ren do hie sa de ko ran ko zhuang chi zo la
Sula shire.
Ah.
Shenken.
Ta san ji ere ro ga lo za la.
Sula shire.
Ta ko ran ko zhuang chi tam ji hie ran ngo hi ba zo la. Gong pa nan ngo hi ba ye je ro ba. Zhuang chi do. Ta chama ke ta chu tana mando la re ta phache pache yong ri chu tana mando re ta re zen de ne sen short da yina da lama ka eri ta ti yidam ke te long ten yor ba e kong ta kan ta na ro yin zen de ni tu tu se wa chala chong ko tong ya ke ta che cho ke je yo je la so ba to kan ta dan ro nam ne de ni je ma kha she dang je de pe be de ni je ma de zo kong tu tu se wa chala ya ji ni ko cho ma lo so ro ba Korang tikbo tanan sangla dewa re isa.
So first he did those 7 years of retreat, actually at that monastery, and then later, after coming out, then he felt now is the time to go to this charnel ground, Servatse, right? And so then he told his companions there that I'm going to this charnel ground to practice there. And actually his companions told him, don't go there, you might encounter many obstacles there. But still he felt that it is the instruction of the guru and also the prophecy of the Yidam, and he felt a strong urge to go anyways. And so then his companions escorted him there with various feast offering substances and various ritual articles and so on. So they provided him with, to the best of their abilities, as best as they could, and brought him there. And then once he was there, they all returned back, and he stayed there by himself.
Chomtro mambo son teni ta chomtro chitan chomtro kong kanya la ki yomara kong pe to nam jo ba nyamle ne chen thong po jin re ba ga lo cha ya teni jima tal ta ngum po rang chomtro tin teni te ke yang la ma ki ba sen teni ngum po ngu so yan ja wa chang ge nen dang bo teni ni teni song do.
So then he started the retreat there, and on the very first day of the retreat, even before dark already, the various miracles started to appear. And none of it could really face him in any way, because he was a great yogi, really a Mahasiddha of high realization. But then Mahakala himself appeared, and so at that time he did not in a way overcome this appearance. So this is how Mahakala then remained and appeared to him directly, and that all happened on the first day of his retreat.
Teni Mahakala ke che kongla che kariseguro che sonyeng dao per tende sevare teni tata galo zawa ke Mahakala la teni cherang ke ta drup tap ta menga yimba te tsungala te la pasongarwa teni ngombo ke tutundi na na chong gen chudin je yores chong John Chong le dropa kan chutin je yoris te masama yang thong ko maris chamchana na mukba ke yo de gris mukba sin ha go chamchana na je member de wan ro tro de wan ro ma do thong ko maris teni tena chirang ke ta torma ta ya ta je sorka ta ya ta chinjor si ya ya bu chi ta teni tena na ta danga mangbo telendo ya yore zen tende labre
So nim pökön ti gombora.
Really?
So then Mahakala appeared, and because the master Galotsawa was very powerful, Mahakala then also offered him his life force and heart, and then he said, Galotsawa said to him, give me, show me your signs of accomplishment, and give me pith instructions. And in response, then Mahakala said, in this charnel ground, there is Garuda stupa, and no one can see it. Sometimes it is obscured, veiled by like fog, and sometimes it is within a blazing fire, and it is so dazzling that no one can see it. But in there, if you go there, make a Dharma offering and a protector offering, like a drink offering, and various rituals. And then in there you will find, when you find it, you will find the instructions within that stupa.
Then zonte lo nga ge jin nga be ti tel ndon ju ti je ko kam dao song do tana lo nga yong do kong lo nga la yong ne lo nga ge jin ne ne ku ma na bo je ka den go jin je ka da sa ro go jin ji ne ko na ta ne chu din da se ten chi so re chu din da ne chi so de da na pe kan ro ma ta ta je ma ta ma ma yin ma bo kan chu din da lo ko ra se de yo ro chu din da ngo sun thong wa ri kong ka chu pan bu ya ta ko ra se ya ta den de se de wa den de je thong ri kong.
So then he stayed there for 5 years, and only 5 years later he actually had the opportunity to find this treasure, this dharma. And so at that time a black person appeared with a raven head, and he brought him to that stupa. And then what he saw there was many beings like dakinis and humans and non-human beings who were circumambulating the stupa, making offerings and so on. So he saw that stupa directly at that time.
Tani ta kandro tam pao pamo nanjo matata chutin la ko sin do ni tan chupan bun do ni te chope koran la gaben nam jor sene tani che kong la to nga do ko ni ngon the ya ta tunde sene tani manang wa jor song wa re manang wa jor song ji su tani te chama koran ka ta trupa yin ba ha ko do wa o trupa yin ba ha ko tani koran ka ta te mang bo thon re song do Japon Sunchi Ju Lai Jong Apa Songs, and that theatre so main Lama Denaya.
So then he saw all of these dakas and dakinis and yogins and so on, so commemorating the stupa, making offerings. And then when they saw him, they were very friendly and welcoming and invited him in. And then they all disappeared. And then he realized that these are all emanations. And then from that on, he found many treasure teachings in that stupa.
Yang Sam something to the Motonga Chandro Sari. Mubaka Yoya, Yang Sam some Mumba Chandro Yasari. Take up the young Dorma Daya Dan, J. Chonkor Daya Dan, Jane George Yat, and Montuni said the young Zontoya, then the Chan Casaro.
Chinchok and children.
Ah,
Chinchok.
Curse?
Chinchok. Dorma Daya, then is of then Chinchok.
Chinchok, Chinchok, George.
Ah, Chinchok.
Chinchok and Chinchok George.
And so sometimes it would happen that this stupa would again become invisible or be obscured by fog and so on. And so then again when he would perform Dharma offerings and feast offerings and as the kind of practice of invoking enlightened activities and so on, then again it would reappear.
Tani Tijine Yang Tatangum Yom Mamo Zanjamas in Yorwa Te Yang
Karamamo
Gumbi Yom Goyam Marmo Zanjamas in the Mela Tendeje Yore Te Yang also Shantona Tani Take Yang Tata Kongundunity Kellen Tamjas and Sanjay Timbasonya La Sopa Tronchel Doya Then Kellen Tamjas Paris
Yom Digi. Marmo Tsangchama. So then later, also finally the consort of Mahakala would appear to him. Is it Marmo Tsangchama something? So he saw her directly then too, and then she also took a vow, a commitment of acting to protect the Buddhist teachings.
Teda kaps tatati konga tadanga so kanso nana yore tuba hongkapa medan bawasin chektan to chimbo sewa sin tuba naka ni yore teti kapsun se yabarindoa
This Truptara Vecher.
Tatuba Tormunda ore Tamjana Toma Maya.
Oh, they didn't mean the Apohakoma something.
Tani Yori, the also Melana Himaro.
So then, no, in Duban la Kaba Juniore, Zinken Zuri, Kongre. So, anyways, Galot Sawa. He then composed. So he then composed the protector offering to Mahakala, the restoration to and the drink offering to Mahakala, which we always practice together. He composed two sadhanas, and so one of them is also one that we always practice. So then he always would stay close to Mahakala. Mahakala would always appear to him, and really Mahakala would never separate from him. He would stay with him just like the shadow of his body, and he would assist him in all of his activities.
Ti juga jawo ke kompe ta chenpo tsene teni khashe kan ko lo don ba ke trwa ri ya si teni chodan ju ba la so ba ma bo sene teni kon pe ti kap so ti ju ne yang te che thong chenpo ten cha so wa ri si
So then he became quite renowned in India, and also the king of that region considered him and his discovery as very precious, and he actually saw him as an emanation of Chakrasamvara, and he made many offerings and so on, and worshipped him in many ways. So he became a quite renowned master in India at that time.
Tani kong tatso pole pel de tango boga chu mambo pole so nam yorwa. Pole so nam tani po ni ang kong pe so aja chombo se kong de du. Lama aseng se ju jita. Kyoro chu je wang so ni sin lama ni yusari. De zo se li ko kong ta pe so ata. Neli tani bro aja chombo. Buyata. Tani tata ka di Wantandanga to so shuya tendrsenduwa.
Die Gemenkare Asang Dang
Joro chuji wangso.
Chuge Wangso.
Lama Joro chuji wangso.
Jor.
Pog lama rata so.
So then he returned to Tibet, and he brought all of these teachings of Mahakala back to Tibet, and then there were great masters, lamas like Lama Aseng and Joro Chugi Wangchuk. And so they supplicated him and welcomed him and made vast offerings to him. So then he also granted them empowerments and instructions.
Teni Lama Aseng ke pamodrupala nang yuri sondo. Pamodrupata Mahakala tatanjitin sungung lama.
And then Lama Aseng passed this on to Pagmo Drupa, who was the Lama of Jigten Sumgön.
Peni Pagmo Drupa ni Jigten Sumgön la tendresen matan rong kajuna nan dijupa de songsote tendresen teni Jigten Sumgön ne sonde ta tata rong kajuk somatso de ngomo tendrcha teni ti jupa ta wang Druptap Timinga to Sorumba, and Tata Padmas on the Tendrisha.
And so Pagmo Drupa then passed these teachings on to Jigten Sumgön, and this is how these teachings were transmitted into the Jigten Kagyu lineage. And so ever since, starting from Jigten Sumgön, they have been transmitted throughout the Jigten Kagyu lineage, and in this way, Mahakala has become a principal protector of the Jigten Kagyu lineage also. And so this is then how the whole lineage, the empowerments, and the sadhanas, and the various instructions have been transmitted up until the present day.
Suma yang yimbala, yedam yang yimba, yedam danchi, suma jijon rao, tenun rao je, ta suma zang ma yimba, yedam ta de nyasa limba, yedam ta de nyasa langa, ta yang chotu mungudola, jorya la soba, tendu chik, tuje tesala yodeba, kolo domba ta yerme pa tendu chik, tuje tesala yodeba tendu chiridwa.
And so now Mahakala, he is a protector, but also he is a Yidam deity. So he's actually both. He's not just a protector, but also a Yidam deity. And as a Yidam deity, therefore, he also has the ability to grant the supreme siddhi. And so he has these kind of abilities and blessings. So in this way, the protector and the Yidam really are indivisible.
Teni tatandong kajuk jupanani ta lama mangbo ke kong shantong adang teni yangja jek tindu ni kelen tamja se atang druptam je atang te la sopa song dewa yori laba te dharma kirti dong chura gompo sharzek yang te yangja dong chura la chek soning la sopa ba yang gompo ke gago tang ya tende se ya tende jong yori.
So then, within the Jigten Kagyu lineage, many lamas, many masters have seen have beheld Mahakala's face directly. He appeared to them directly, and on many occasions he again took an oath, a commitment to protect the teachings, and sadhanas were composed on the basis of that. And in particular, there was a Jigong Kagi master, Chudak or Dharmakirti, and Mahakala also appeared to him directly. And again, Mahakala offered him his heart and life force. And again, he was in a way bound under oath, or he committed to be a protector of the teachings.
Nani se yore. Gochong sun ta chuk chek ben jo talang gompo drum chu sen gondo. Gompo goni to do cha ya klok so tang. Te da chuni ben jo tal gochin sen hin ji ka dwan so le klok so. Ta po ni nga chu gom ban da wa yana ten lo so cha de. Pa che ten dong ka ju mang bo chil ten yore.
And so there is a tradition in Tibet where two main pujas are being held at the end of the 11th and at the end of the 12th Tibetan month. And so at the end of the 11th Tibetan month, Mahakala puja is being held. There's a tradition of doing an extensive Mahakala Dharma offering and puja. And at the end of the 12th month, Yamantaka retreat, Rupchan, is being held. So this is how it is done in our monastery and probably in many other monasteries as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the story. And do you have any questions? About the will?
Any of these sadhanas were available or translated for us.
Think that we could drop your
Druptap ta rain damanda mambo yori tata gombo gojang da de drabata. Gombo sa ni bu de drabata. Sa ye bu de draba. Tenita Lela Jovatan, Chenla Jovala Sabaga Goni Dupta Brenda Manda Yongoyori. Tenga Pache Tati Tonmataya can chupa zamke. Tendrico Tonbenda or Jonamato, Dupta Chatsaman Joyaltia Sire, Tomanu.
Kompo Kuchang to the Carde.
Good young Barava.
In the side of a corn meba.
Kuchans and corn meba.
So there are many different forms of Mahakala. For example, there is like the single Mahakala that is without a retinue. Or there is the two-armed Mahakala or four-armed and so forth. And then there is different practices. Some of them are meant to accomplish certain activities or enlightened activities. And there are different sadhanas. But like the sadhana that we actually practice, that is available really, is mainly limited to the Dharma offering, like the drink offering that we make. Not sure if there's another sadhana out there.
Sadhana.
A real like sadhana, right?
Tachitang Druptap Sena de La Goyata, Nga Dayata, Tendesena Chik, Nindrup, Lesson Seneramba in the Doyatela, Sadhana Labu Yorba. Tendete Tengajoyal Patin, and Thomaso. The Nichi Torman Beatan, Tendon Sare.
So what we call a sadhana is when it consists of different aspects of deity visualization and of mantra recitation, of the approach, the accomplishment, and activities. So that's a sadhana, and I'm not aware of anything like that having been translated. What has been translated and that we are practicing is the Dharma offering that we make to the protector.
Teni Jetang Tata Druptap Tesarate Katambonda ori. Karadis in Angune Danakache Ta Wang Chachangta, Tani, when Yamselini, not Wang Chachangta, Tani Mexaga Wang Yore, got it so dead zone. The Geni Jeba, Ratsadu, the new one, Danatic, seriously partition and Dawson. When a Danagan listen, then this in Yamselingo Yore, they Tata Chitango one using Yondas and Gogamare. Mago Jimson Jerisina. Kate so this is you to sote suma que so the charan sol te goyore. So the te goyore. Teni te kanjo manjon rawsena teni nigala karsio. La da mo nigala te kalente yanda mato. Pinto yo marwa.
Sok dingen klarwa.
Mare. Lama. So menga te ya.
Wang nang chen dirwan.
Wang mixa go wang nane. So karsina da nga mexang daw che charang la lap te sena tini charang ka nga te dang te se ang du te soma te la rawa me ba ke charang khala nying go yang daw den de cha ho sa re den de ge mexa dang nga chi yong ge yo re te la te na de so pe ka sa won de se che tang ge wang che soma ka te so de se je to so ne
Tering di mara tering wang
te mare te mare.
And so now, in general, to really practice protecta according to the sadhana, actually it is quite. There are many restrictions. Actually, it is quite strict, and so actually there is a very special empowerment meant just for that. And by the way, this is not the empowerment we are receiving today. And so this special empowerment is actually meant and only given to someone who really practices, engages in the practice. So this is something that must really be practiced. Because when such an empowerment is given, then the master who confers this empowerment then is actually giving his life force. So you have to, this master has to give his life force. And that is fine if the disciple really engages in practice. So that's the reason why it is being kept very restricted and it is not freely given, because now one actually has to give one's life force. And that means basically that one cannot treat this practice then carelessly, because if you don't really practice it or you're careless about it, then that leads to a lot of trouble for yourself and also between you and the deity, the activities. And that is because when the empowerment is given and you actually engage in a practice, when the master gives the life force to the protector, then basically the deal that is being made here is that when you recite the mantra, then the protector has no choice but to obey to any of your instruction. So it's kind of a critical kind of way of practicing, and that is why it is being held very restricted. So this is not the kind of empowerment we are receiving today. So this is the penalty. So regarding now giving the life force, has any one of you saw the story of the monkey king? Tangsin Lama. That's Chinese. Samduta piu te pe dokja sigundu san mase ya tang la so se yo ran sam. Te lama de nyingje yo de ngo shi yo ma de. Te lama de ta piu te ko kan kan ni mo do san te nga ji da ya yo de. Nga de da ya de piu ngo jeng na ngo ge do si shi do si. To piu de. Piu de. Te lama de ko ke pe to he se ne mase ya la so ba se de te te ma se ne nyong mo do. Ngone se na piu te ge ha ko yo de te si go. Then Lama take a call. Nakal Yum does not done. Then it be Shiros and go get rose, then it be Kalenia. The Resindo.
So
now regarding this life force, that's the story with the monkey, and there's this Lama, and so the monkey in that story appears in has many different emanations, and the monkey also has clairvoyant powers, and appears in many different forms, and causes a lot of havoc. And then the Lama has a lot of compassion, but he doesn't have clairvoyant powers. So he just sees the monkey going around causing all kinds of trouble, sometimes killing people if it's necessary, and so on, seemingly being really naughty. And so then the Lama, with great compassion, feels that this is not right, what he's doing is not right, I must subdue him. And so then he applies different mantras, different mantra powers, and so there's this mantra to control the monkey, and so then he controls the monkey, and kind of how did Kokia kan the chaso? Oh, so because he recites that mantra, the monkey gets a headache, and then his head is almost like bursting, and he's on the verge of death. And so this is actually what the monkey was doing often was a necessary thing, because the monkey was an emanation, but then the Lama didn't know that because he didn't have clairvoyant powers and only compassion. So this is what happens then to the life force. So this is what happens if we carelessly give our life force to the protectors.
Okay, take a break. Yeah. Later. Logic coni the descendant. Sasuma. Tanyam is the capsule. Jerem coni condescend. Mukpa Kandre, Sigo Gogo Yopat Anthony, not our caps, Mukpa Kandre, in particular Maji. The Duptalatan Martin to Shin the Jaya. Tell a Tomatella. Duptam none the song, Tombangales. Tala Kandogona, Tombangales, Lapiorva, Tambo Tombala, Lojang, Tinitingani, Lionanda, Senkoyo, Yayakan Chasan Koyo Nanda, the Tony Hale Rambo Rabayan the Ya, Yanjagongon, some to get Tamdela Rela song you depana is in the Jepas in the Gumya Yuri, and some song makes us in a song yo Mari.
So we just talked about the history of Mahakala, and so then for the actual practice, how we visualize the generation stage and what to visualize when we recite mantra. So I'm looking here at the sadhana, and it says, from within the state of emptiness arises a deity. And this is usually how it is, whatever deity we practice. First, everything is purified into emptiness, and then from within that state arises a deity or the surrounding immeasurable palace. And so sometimes it is explained more extensively how each and every of these elements arises, and sometimes it is more happens in a more immediate or concise way.
Yedam yedam ka nyamsu limpa kapsu tambo dakji sindunji siramba yinde yongo yore. Soma yena pachi tsu soma ten dunji ride yore. Soma dundo gom. Tene ti nguni rani yedam ka rungji lo gongwa tene chi chaga yore. Soma nyamsu lin sawala tamara wasene nyamsu lin ya yo mare. Rang yedam ka rungji la sar tamne tene ti jesu soma talan chenjo kang sena ya. Koram tendanda ore tang gompo nyamsu limpa kapsa yang rang tambo dempyo ro gomne teni ndendong gompo tenda sene gomya ta demek ta teni chenjo la so teni goni sei gore.
So normally when we practice only a separate Yidam deity, then first one would do a self-visualization, and then there's a front visualization. But for the most part, when we practice a protector, then we visualize the protector in front. And at the same time, you're visualizing yourself as the Yidam deity. So one actually doesn't practice a protector while seeing oneself in an ordinary form. So you visualize yourself as the Yidam deity and then the protector in front of you. So then in the context of the Mahakala practice, the Yidam deity would be Chakasambhara. And so then from within such a state of visualizing, you then engage in the practice and then the visualization for the mantra recitation and the invoking of activities and so forth.
Then abchinda wanyamle sena yang rang dodje namjo mar sane teni dunda abchi gona teni nyamle se go yore. Then chuchong zamaran rawa yana rang cho tamren la gomne. Teni dunda chuchong gomya tan chinren ya la sba teni se go do. Angun chusam sena. Angun chusam se tesum te rong ka ju ko soma ke zo ndo som la zagare. That tesum.
So then, for example, if you practice Achim as a protector, then you would visualize yourself as Vajravarahim and in front Achim. Or if you practice, Timara, is it Timara, right? Mm-hmm. Which is also a protector of the Jikun lineage, then you would visualize the Yidam Hayagriva. And so then from within that state engage in the practice and the invoking of the activities. Actually in the Jikun Kagyu lineage there are three main protectors, and that is Achim, Mahakala and Timara.
Kandana yang kachanga zo torman bayakti dinang dena thoma telarani yedan lasabe sinidoga. Dina yikandana soma kandaji nyamle sena rang yedam sanang ngantini. Dini soma la kago tan chenjo lasoba sena. Teni len rugo yore karisena ngarang tate sarke nebadang che wangdang tende che yobaji tangbo yengo yorba teni penate tata maje yakake ta sinjin rawo chana teni koka tangto yore ko sinjin ma cha bangone mati jikbarete yena ko sinjin mandam bangone ko kache labdena sucheni marwa. And
so just like during the Dharma offering the other day that we recited together, so from within this state of emptiness, you visualize yourself as your own Yidam deity, whichever one that is, and then you visualize the protector, and then you continue on with giving the command and invoking activities and so on. And so the reason for doing it this way is because First of all, in order to give a command like that, you must have some kind of authority or power to do that. For example, if you become the president of a country, then you can give orders. But before you are president, when you're not a president, you can't just give orders to anyone. Nobody would listen. So it is just like that. That's why you first visualize yourself as the yidam.
Kachandele lapsa mountain line yoris charampe chembo yin dondos in the Kalipando golis lapsa. The other Nisarva.
For example, remember the mountain lion that we have? You're supposed to make yourself really big when the mountain lion comes, and then he will go away. So it's a bit like that.
Maybe similar. Oh, yeah, that tela don't bang on less. Dodge jar, pang to his own to pass, that the carso years jar. Dodge palam jera yinga jar, jache in tobo. Tanaje tambo saki till the end of Gongo race. The dodge palam car, the carpan, you made a longer human. The kanga young torment bucket, the dodge palam rajin jika. Jar chimboje, Gongo race.
So then, from within the state of emptiness, it says, then arises a ground that has the nature of like diamond rocks, like a mountain of diamonds, and that is a sign of stability. It is very vast and very thick. There is this mountain of diamonds, like nature, that nothing can destroy it. Not even an apocalyptic fire or wind and so on. Nothing can destroy it.
The Tutu Sayi Chimbola City, the Tracker, the Koran Tutu Grangi in Banda, the Sangoyo Sari, Ti Nana, Ulatini, Yayekante, Tupa Cambo, Danombala Sobaka Yabak Yayekan, the Sangore is on the.
So then on top of this diamond-like ground, I actually think that this diamond-like ground should be seen as a charnel ground too. So it is like a charnel ground. And at the center of that appears the palace. And the palace is made up of dry and fresh skulls all piled up.
Then the Tabu Yayekanje, Gongo the Patena Hajanke Jingnang. Nanji dan timpare, mapaka yang yetan, labri. Ta yayekan chetan te ta kuchin kuchi, labri tan jin la sopa yorwa. Ti kapsa te tamche tene mapaka yang yelese pa labri tan tene joma. Labri tene ndarewa. Mai papa.
Megi papa.
Tene ti jin cha so mai joma nan ro la sopa ka se ya pa pe nde simpon de san ro che gongo yore ta bu yayekan se jotela.
So then this is a wrathful palace, and outwardly looking it seems to be a bit terrifying. So everything that makes up this palace, the palace itself, and then the canopy on top and all the ornaments and so on, are made of things like human skin and ornaments of intestines and so forth. So it's almost like the dwelling place of a monster.
Mongo kamno la sopa ke tsek kamba te te ke tsek teni hyawa cha dan hya la so hyawa se yaba tendre tabu ya kan tendre yorwa.
So that the house is made of piled up human skulls, and then it's like on the walls smeared with blood and grease and things like that.
Tambu ya kan te da say number to yuri ti na lo la teni yang tuksum sen yuri.
Ti tupshira ba?
Yuri ti na lo la teni ramle ram ti examine tele teni me tuksum sen bar deva. Chetan da te chumjong ge ye te ta tabu la chama la te ti nang tong cha te chumjong ge ye zawan chawan turdu suwa denga chewa jin de yang zhen de ta lang ma gong go sa te ke ti tong cha te den zhe ri do.
So the shape of the outer structure is square-shaped, and then within that first appears a syllable ram, and that turns into a triangular fire, blazing fire, and then within that there is dinangla yorebe chujung chujung dinangla yore me nangla me kangla yore. Yeah. Then that fire itself becomes the Dharmodaya, or the source of all phenomena, which is like a tetrahedron, or basically it is an upside down triangle where the tip is facing down and the larger part is facing up, the flat part. And so actually all of the wrathful deities arise from within such a state of emptiness, this triangular upside down shape. So within that then, from this aspect of emptiness then arises the deity. So the seed is built up in stages. So first you have a syllable bam, which transforms into a lotus, and then on top of that is ram, which transforms into a sun disk.
Hong Nipa Chedes, Naran Kolo Dem Jogo Tokala Hong Yore, Tela Hong Yimba Chet, Din Tata the Dinti Ganten Pamne. Dinti Gan Pamne, and it also drop the Sigo Yore. Also Trone, take a Yan Chupatang, Sob the Javas and Jepatam Theosete, Chuperan Yin the Jar. They also church dune, the Sob the Sanje Tamja to Jesalan Patamja, Hong del Turn duty sa. Then I was a Yimba Jintron, take a chick, Semjin Tamjak Drepa Janti is, Tony says on the that and rejects a down bottle.
And so then on top of this seed is another seed of corpses. Two corpses. So then you have visualized yourself as Chakrasamvara. And so at your heart, as Chakrasamvara is a hung syllable. So then from this hung syllable, a second hum syllable emerges, and it moves to on top of that seed. And then from that hum syllable on the seed, light rays radiate and gather back. So when they first radiate out, they become an offering to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions. And then this light gathers all of their powers and their blessings, which then are brought back into the hung, dissolving into the hung. And then again, light rays radiate out from the hung, and at this time they purify all the obscurations of the sentient beings. And so this is what we call accomplishing the dual purpose, twofold purpose.
Then the hung the Nanjun something and Jogo, something Jogori. Jogok Yoala Hongya Yopaji, the Nerjixam. Then it did Jola Yoala Hongya Yopatele, that wasn't 20 number Jinsena. Wasn't Trinidad, was a Tamat in 20 number. 20 number in Sot Samalan Chondu, the was a Degata, Chick Dagwektam Charges, Lakantanache, Tindang, Roala, Zeting, no Parsipa. Ganda Soyoba, the Tamcheta, Mebatan, Sons and Bando, the Nijix.
Then the hung transforms into the implement. The implement is a curved knife, and at its handle is a hung syllable. So then from this curved knife with the hung syllable at the handle, light rays radiate out, and these become light rays appearing in the form of various weapons. And then these annihilate all enemies and obstructors, all hindrances that cause harm to life and so on, cause any harm. So all of this harm is being annihilated by these weapons.
Titi was at the turn to Jolatim. The native Jolatim Samantha that drove the Ninjane, Tangumpo Sayaban Jonoyor.
Sanibara?
Sayabar.
Sajipati. So then the light rays gather back and dissolve into the curved knife, and then instantly the curved knife transforms into the four-armed Mahakala.
Mahakala ta Tankayore.
Do you have
Then in Mahia Yanan Dendo. Gumdo in Tinayimba, Dot in Tinayimba. Satangbo. Sa ye yoro, sa tangbo niji, jok tucha. Tok, kawando. Yeah. Sa tangbo niji jok tucha toka tuputu tos. Then listen. Jok tucha. Tuk tango yoputsu tenzendemba.
Then Yebala Tikurva.
Re. Gomba tangandala yosare. Jagman Patesa design.
Back there is a tanka.
Then woman is Katam and Rajan Zendeba. Yan Dortapti. Yan Dortap Sedeba. Then it go pay Cheshin, in La Rakwasi, in La de Bompochi, Lapar the Toa Chimpochi. Jin some Maladambas, make some Maro. Dambona already there. The Nishaji going a la ho sin. Talk Jiba to the Yepen and Bandos and song. I'm Jidan going a la ho song there. Tendrich, Chewa, take the patronier. That all can do Hakoro, Zala logo marite. Then know what your is.
So then, for the visualization, so then he appears as the four-armed Mahakala. So the Mahakala is some dark blue in color, and so has four arms. So the first two central hands hold in the right hand a curved knife, and in the left hand skull cup filled with blood, and he's with the right hand with the knife he's stirring the blood. Then in the other two, the lower two hands, he holds Katvanga, a staff, and a sword. And his legs are in a like dancing, like a majestic stride and a dancing posture. And then his body is large, and his limbs are like large and thick, and especially his belly is very big, and he has 3 eyes that are bloodshot and bulging, dried skulls. You can see it on this image up here. And also there is a crest ornament, which is right above that. It's actually also in that image up there. So there's this kind of crest ornament above that. And then he also wears like a long necklace that is made of 50 fresh human heads that are dripping with blood and held together by intestines. Dinara.
During a game, La Jinte Patendo, you were the kind of carboke. Marbogan Gurjin said that. Sepok and Ninjin said that. Now we have those.
This go on Sepoti, Dinera.
I'm sure.
Dini, Napoti.
Napok is hard up that Shabdom said there. Chao Gara said there. Tender your is.
Chao, let's go.
Gara. During Mojang Serra car tubas. Serra car tuba.
Taras in this Kato Carpotang Napora.
Chao. Re Kado Gabono Chacha.
Then he's adorned with 5 kind of snake ornaments. One is white snakes that bind his hair and his crown, and then red snakes kind of around his neck, and yellow snakes around his ears, and black snakes are his wristlets and anklets, and then black-white speckled snakes are his belt.
Then during Mojang Serra car choose. Drung Seracasina de Kelareva. Kelakon and Seracachun, Chagon Yumbetan go Shala Church. Dirt and dress and Kelconda Yava, Drun Mojang. Go Shala Church was in dirt and go take it, Gompo Shala Pate de Church then. Hakoson.
Then there is one more snake that is blue-green, and it kind of crawls around his neck and his waist in this way, but then it crawls back up, and its face is looking directly at Mahakala.
Then it talk about Shantabi Yore. Teni Tata Lapana Yipe Ngamji de Limba. Kamson want to do system surgeon on Rosata Sanika, Teniziji, Tendaji Sangoresa.
And then his skirt is made of tiger skin, and just you should see him in a very magnificent and majestic way, overpowering all of existence, the three realms of samsaric existence.
Ta de zao sa cha de kong ge min sam te jin nam ka ta na jia ji sa chong jo jia le zhe ba ge sa chong na bo jin suan do jin che ji ren bo ji jin tam ye ji jin de ba sa ni ji lu du ba jin song ne
Lu
de de song ne xia du so de ba Kamban la demoni ke dor zong yorwa. Teni dor te kana na zong de yore. Kana na zong de watanda.
Dor de ina zong de kana na zong ra.
Tende se.
Dor ji ra.
Dor ji.
So then, right at the level of at the point between his eyebrows, in the space in front of him, at the level which is facing the point of his eyebrows, between the eyebrows, there is an iron Garuda, black in color, with 3 eyes, and adorned with vajras and jewels, and he's holding with his how do you call it, the talons or something. No, with his feet, basically, with his hands. He's holding a naga snake, and also he's like biting into it with his mouth. He's holding it with his mouth.
Ta kojang ta du sena tenderi tela tenin korta yang ko pe mangbo yore. Ta tende mangbo hie tene be ngo thom yama to yila nge mari tata. Teni tende chek sa tap chadu kar go yo sena ta yi ba jin rin sen jin do wa. Ta gom de ba tele ta ma kwa se de ba tele tam chek ba se yore. Teni ti jin ngune yi shin ko bo ta de din rin Tata Tanzai Patala Nisame Patam, Sitamia Yame Chasong Samba, Tende Go Yori, Tatela, Duptatan, then a Yori, Tat, then to get Mambo La Litusu Madawa.
So basically, this is how you visualize the form, and then there is much more to it. There is the retinue and the secondary retinue and so on. So there's no point in going too much into that, because it just makes us dizzy. But so anyways, at that point, after having visualized the entire form, then we invite the wisdom being. So right now, what we have visualized until now is the Samaya being. And then we are inviting the actual wisdom Mahakala to come. And then the Samaya being and the wisdom being merge inseparably. So according to the sadhana, this is how we practice.
So then
after that, there are levels of making offerings and praises. So, and after that, we come to the mantra recitation, and so next I will explain the visualization for that.
Da Heruka Senatan Kolodem to Sarvak Tokani Nazo Pemata Nemajinko Jugusos, Rankolodem Jogo Tokalan, Nazo Pemata, Nemadinjes, and Titan La Hongtina, Tin Talatini, Dem Jogunha, Shiha Hong, Pek, Sejuteka Gordeva, Tendaji Sangores, Teniti Jin and Dunji Mahakala Tokar, Pemata Nemadinla, Hongtina, Jes Agoris. Tin Tala, the Mahakala Yorindala, Mamambuji Yori. Te Tala, the Mahakala, the Yungo Gordeva, and Rujik Sangores.
Mambo Yore, Mamsana Chikra, not Chikri
Rimbori, Nakashi Gonguzeda.
So then according to the sadhana, in the sadhana, then it says, then you visualize yourself as Haruka. So that is, you visualize yourself as Chakrasamvara, and at the heart is like a variegated lotus, and on top of that is a sun disk, and on top of that is a dark blue hung syllable. And that is then surrounded by Chakrasamvara's essence mantra, Om Shri Ha Ha Hung Hung Pet. And then in front of you, as Chakrasamvara, is Mahakala, and at his heart is also a seed of lotus and sun, and on top of that is a dark blue hung, which is surrounded by the Mahakala mantra. But there's actually there's many mantras, and it is a long mantra, and that mantra, that long mantra, is turning to the left, so counterclockwise.
Tokane, Naji was the Jews, Tingaji was the Gumbu Tokala Hills. Gumbu Tokala Hill and Gumbo and Hantan Tetan G's, mixing those and Gumbo and Hantan Tetan G. Tini Linson Coraces Linson Corace on the capsule, Tini Gumbo Gata, who jumped in the Jinga, jumped in the Senda, Sanjay jumped in the Chipumare. Sanjay Tamja Jinga, Kare Tamja, Kelin Tamja, Kare say you are Tamse Karayuba. Tutu Tamja are trains. This was your trains owns.
The Korea Dira. Korea de Latene.
Korea teacups.
So you visualize yourself as Chakrasamvara, and then you think that from the mantra at your heart, light radiates, and it enters into Mahakala's heart in front of you. His mantra and seed syllable, so they mix into one, and then this light then begins to turn, goes 3 rounds around the seed syllable. And so as the light goes around 3 times, you think that whatever samaya or promise or whatever commitment has been made in the presence of the Buddha, not just this, but all the Buddhas, all of these samayas are being invoked.
Buddha Jibu Mari, the master Mambo Jigan Duni, the Kellen Tamjatan, Sonian Poyala, so say, the Sama, ya, the Jinson Jong, they did Jinson Jong in the Congo Yang, Tamja Sarvando, Tang is Rabdababo Tamjela, Jake Dronteles Yatan, Sanjaka Timba Sonia, Senjila Davidon Siatamje. That's the some young Tamja Sarvando, Santola, to say your Angry.
So it is not just the commitment taken in the presence of the Buddha, but also the many masters whom he had offered his life force and heart to. So all of these vows and promises that he has made are now awakened again. And a new promise is also being made for that practitioner, the one who practices. And so to support their activities and again to protect the Buddha's teachings and to bring about the happiness of sentient beings. So again, this kind of mind arises within him. I'm going to take this new commitment. So then the mantra garland emerges from Mahakala's mouth, so it rises up, and then comes into your mouth as Chakrasamvara, and in this way it circulates between you and Mahakala.
Oh, that's
how it is. Any questions?
Yeah, I had a question about earlier. I wanted to clarify this point about whose life force is being given to who. There's this first story of Galotsawa, where Mahakala is offering his life force to the Galotsawa, but then Lama was talking about the protector empowerment, what we're not receiving. And in this context, the Lama's life force is going to the disciple. Is this correct? Or?
Not the disciple, though, right? Anyways, there are so many stories. Tambo Galo Sala Gablara. Then Gombo Pura. And then he did say to the young Wang Number Gablara, that Wang Tamba Chembochito, the Nama Gabla and Doche Lopen Wang Nanket Young, Hongi Sok Devi or then young. Sok drinking the young Gombo Marva, young Lama Derva. Then it tak 100 dog, sok drinking the stories.
So drinking the Narang Jubilama, the sort of
Jubilama.
Gumbo Dambo and Sonian Treja Yore. Take it, Sonian Trace and a Datic Dama take, mixer can imba the treasure. Then it teach you about the Rambai in the Yungo Yorova.
So it is the. It begins first. In the very beginning, Mahakala gave the heart essence, the life force. What he really gave is the heart mantra and instructions. And then it was passed on through the lineage lamas. And so then, from that on, it's the lineage lamas who give the life force. Yeah, Donna?
I was just wondering if Varanatsawa was a previous incarnation of Garchen Rinpoche.
No.
And then my other question, what you last described, so the mantra is coming from Mahakala's heart, going through his mouth to your mouth, and then back through the heart? Or heart to heart, mouth to mouth, like that.
Livia?
Yes, as far as I understood, Mahakala was earthbound protector, and I wanted to ask, when did he get full enlightenment, and how did he get it?
The Tamlasharva combo. Tini yang kong the Sangya in the Maratam Shagora. Any kong sang Kandas Gesong, sang Katu Gesong.
Sangadu Jesu, Dambote, Mangete young. Mangi the Dankolo de Jota, Nisame Panda or Chayore. The Nite Soma se Yongo Chito, the Nita say Nambala, Jin the Regula Dine. The Nin up Jigla Chigda, Chick Co Senjin and Sevando, Saint Donichi Charity. The Ni Tijini, them choke draka, Yanja Tamla Yapo Capsu, caught the young Yanja Rinda was saying. Renda was saying, Koran Tankolo dem joke draw in some Sadu, also Semjina, yes, and remember in the chicks Salam Duna, Sanje Sal Legoya, the Nature Yongo Yosamare. Check the Nini Tani Ta Sangaga don the Katos Pa Dona Check Katos Taja Sanje Compound Topswan. Then down Jekualingo Mendo.
So first of all, so the basis is that he is indivisible from Chakrasamvara, and then he is therefore an emanation of Chakrasamvara. So then, when he appears as a protector, the outer appearance, due to various conditions, manifested in such a way that caused harm to sentient beings. And so then, due to that, again, an emanation of Chakrasamvara appeared and bound that emanation under oath. So which kind of like awakened like his like kind of his family or something like that, his kind, where he belongs to. And so it is because he's already an emanation of Chakrasamvara that he is not like an ordinary sentient being now that has to gradually attain enlightenment by progressing on the stages and the paths. So that's one. And then secondly, another way to understand it is that he's someone who has attained enlightenment in a direct way of realizing the meaning of the secret mantra.
Yeah.
Mahakala, 2 arms or 4 arms. So we have empowerment 2 arms, but the described is 4 arms. So I'm confused.
Teyina garwa yo mariko teni tatan lapana yin tuji jeri namba mandao desak namba mandao to kandu zu yong yo sare jena je de toba da nam jom ba to sota la je nega ka nan chen mandawa je yong la tini te rang zig sun jin tini ma ju ba song de ba tundu le tini te sa namba mandawa yong de gu wa la la je yin na yang teni top da nam jo ba to so nan chen mandawa yo ba tundu tini gang nan chen so de rang ji ma ju ba se ne yong de wa tundu tini yong do ta ta ti wang sa ni ba ri de nyam ni ta ti na yin de ga wa yong yo ma re.
So there is still no contradiction because, as we said, that the basis of arising is one and the same. And even though there is only one basis, the appearances might be many, various appearances. And how do these different appearances come about, actually? It is also often the way in which that a certain deity appears to a practitioner, like a yogin has a vision of a deity, it appears to him in that specific way. It's the same deity, but it might appear different to a certain yogi than to another yogi. And then they take this emanation as not their emanation because it appeared to them, and then this is how a lineage then appears, a certain lineage appears of a deity. And so even though we receive an empowerment of the 2-armed Mahakala, there is no contradiction in practicing the 4-armed Mahakala.
Yeah.
So the procedure that you described is what we would do for the trauma offering. This is the visualization we would do for the trauma offering. Maybe I misunderstood. I don't know.
Torma ngoya ti kapsu tata ti ngando ya kemik pat so go mare. Nga da kas mik pat dal so go yo mare. Chitang ta torma ngo kapsu tata cherong ko kote ta tendra wo che yo samba che sen torma huna te nri yo wa.
So when you do the Dharma offering, what you don't need is that visualization for the mantra recitation, not the circulating that we just described. But everything else, the whole generation stage from the beginning, you can visualize that.
Could you briefly talk about the Mahakala circum offering?
Setyam de na do ateri na so nam jun lo yo.
That's the Dharma offering that we always do together.
Setyam se na tere wa te tong wa grek su chepa. Tong wa grek su chepa chupa. Tong ma te sa ya grek su chepa chong do re ba. Setyam su tong ya grek su chepa kan chong do re. Nga chu ja tang chang la so ba ji chu do. Te la meng setyam ta yo re.
So basically, the Serkyam is a drink offering of any kind, and the Dharma offering is a food offering of any kind. So, for example, for the drink offering for the Serkyam, we offer like tea or any other like liquids.
Is there any resource where we could learn a little bit about like the attributes of Mahakala?
symbolism?
Te pache yojori te tanga la tho chama ta ten re che te chikpare. Ta ti shinje nanda ni proha nanda la tho ke jincha to son re che chikpare. Karare sen nang thugju ke yon tin te chikpare wa. Te so sal tin da ware. Dai goni.
And so there are actually some commentaries that explain the symbolic meaning, but that's more like an overall, a general meaning for wrathful deities. And the symbolic meaning of all the wrathful deities is actually the same. So it could be Yamantaka or Vajrakilaya. The explanation and how you would explain the symbolic meaning of the wrathful ornamentations and so on is the same, and that is because the enlightened qualities of the deities are the same, and they are reflected in the form of the outer appearance.
Regarding the secret mantra, was the secret mantra available prior to the birth of Sakyamuni Buddha? And if so, for how long approximately is it known?
Yori sanga te te sanje mambu gu tu le chong do wa ka ba mambu gu ngoni sanga si de song yore den de yang sanje ka he gu tu le sanga so mo do pa chi shu le sanga de do wa.
So yes, the secret mantra did exist before the Buddha Shakyamuni. Actually, many eons before, during the time of many Buddhas, the secret mantra teachings always appeared. And actually, they said that it was only at the time of a few Buddhas where they did not appear. But for most Buddhas, actually, the secret mantra teachings did appear.
Yeah.
In the you mentioned that the Mahakala is both the Yidam and the Dharma protector. In the practice that we're doing, are we practicing Mahakala as a Dharma protector, or is it also a Yidam in this situation?
The tata nga zo go torma ta ya tang chile jo ya di den da u kap se na ta so che che so ma da sen nyam le se yo re yena ger so so la tan cham na don ni ba ni de ba drup chin sen ran ba yin do den de sen nyam le se ya yo re ti kap se ta ye da ran sen nyam le se ya re.
So in the context of the Dharma offering that we perform and in invoking or requesting of enlightened activities, we would mainly see him as a protector and practice him in that way. But then if you practice it on your own, like as a personal practice, for example, in retreat, you would go through different stages of approach and accomplishment, great accomplishment, and so on. And in that context, you would practice him as a Yidam deity.
Lama, give an explanation for those of us who don't have the capacity to do the elaborate visualization of how we might do a simple visualization during the practice.
Tanati gepa de kom machine ni ta gerem da mi bon tu ba ri kom dang yo de
Me pa dipa yena sa ni ba gom de na cho yo sa ni ba de che dang gom bo ta ta te xiartang gu tu su tata lapa na yin chik la teni sa nyi tena chigok dang tu cha ma to raja ta khatam te yo ma re tena ko chang gom na chog yo re.
So in that case, you could just practice the two-armed Mahakala. And so you visualize the face and everything with the ornaments in the same way as just described, but having only two arms. So in the two hands, he's holding a curved knife and a skull cup filled with blood, but you're not visualizing the two arms with the khatvanga and the sword.
Teni te tau ke cherem sarpu gom ma thom na sige yo na mugum jam se na cho yo ro mu pa jam.
So then if it's difficult to visualize the entire generation stage, the visualization of the deity, you can actually just kind of have this sort of like an aspiration, a knowing, you know that the deity is there. I can have an awareness of the deity. Nyempa karari.
Nyempa ombenza Mahakala hong pace.
Ombenza Mahakala hong.
Nyempa remdra mambo yore. Nyempa nyenyi si sone dale tenga yore. Ombenza Mahakala hong pace.
Yeah, so that's the kind of the essence mantra, but there's many different mantras like heart mantra and so forth, many different mantras.
Is there a copy of the stages that you discussed in like one of the prayer books for the Bhikkhu or
The visualization, you mean?
like if you wanted to do a trauma offering at home, is there like in one of these books?
Or the trauma offering. Also, 이게 또 여러 가지라 kontrolla 이게 여러 베스트 동어들 소소기야 나는 mention되나?
동어 다 공부 집보를 세야 봐도 안 돼. 소마 용조 잡지 세야 가장 가서 로인바. 아, 디난다나 다테 소마 장 용조를 동시야 되리샤.
So here at the center we have this sadhana. It's this one actually is the brief Dharma offering, but this is not an offering to only Mahakala, but it includes all the other protectors as well. And we've been doing this practice the last few days, so we have it here. You can look at it. Yeah.
다단디는 효당 아바텔 대칭 달팅 공부 걸라송 야바린도 오하고 담진 점선 터톱진 빵고사에 사로 사드고 야페만노 따용라송 공부 소스 대초당 공부가 루스죠 바트솔도 망호요라 디디진 띵송 취도 망모나장도 현종선도 배안노진 배망보제때는 루루세기도 고도 송 공부 거라죠.
And so in this sadhana on page 5, only on page 5, there is this offering to the various forms of Mahakala. And then after that, there's offerings to all the other protectors like Archie and the field protectors and so forth. So all of the protectors are really included in there.
Oh yeah, that's an time.
Can we stop here?
Yeah, they'll change it.
Is there a proper way to dispose of the offering in the session when you're finished with the practice?
Tini nyamlen shetsa tu tini siakyamji enanti chöpati kana shogores.
Ah.
Kana pogore.
Oh, slol mayogi gore. Slol mayogi gore.
If it's a serkyam, which is a drink, then you would like offer it outside. Tormaina?
Tormaina, that Ronjana did Tabdeo yo marimato. Gumpanani pasolo yogi satsa mariwa. The Ronjana slow yoga mangol jam. Nyoda zuri, the mato.
So it depends. If in a city it's a little tricky. It's different than in a monastery. In a monastery we can just throw it out and it's also a clean place. But in a city you can't do that. It's not a clean place and also you might get into trouble with other people.
So
in Tibet, the birds and other animals would just like eat it immediately.
That Torma Gumfana and the Torma Tortexin, there's a young tone of the Zuya, Torma Yuxa. Tigana Yotini, Antemena, Passata Magana Yojana Chochore.
There's different kinds. So in Tibet, how they do it is they say there's a certain kind of dorma that is kind of more elevated. And so you would offer that on a higher place, elevated place. But then any other dorma would be offered on the ground, no specific place. Gompo? Gompo tortek
Torten, take Senatak, Toma Yosak, Sachara.
In Compotina go to
Tateja Tonjana and young Maras. Tambo de desert slowly ya, Tenindro Yokers on Passata Mala Yoko. Tonjana and the city.
In a companana young take by your compola.
Gombo makes a yomare, so Matamala.
Matamatin.
Toma Yosasito take your.
Take your. Compara take your.
Takes a hako yochi.
Hako your companala?
Yoria. Take the magic.
Yeah. So it's different again in a monastery than in the city. So in a monastery, of course, you would have it's like you have a seat for each of the dharmas where you would put it, but you wouldn't have that anywhere like set up outside right in the city. So in that case, you would just offer it outside.
Gombanani nyeng taban domba chikpan dondorwa. Nyeng taban domba chikpan dondodu. Tani saad choka kan to man chuya yo kan to man chuya me hakore saad choka ya. Singchang lo romo jadu chamchang lo romo jadu to ma yo re ba. Tela le tu khoso leong ko. Yan chamchang romo jadu na tika so to ma yo mara. Tu ko yo ma saad choka ha ko. Nyeng taban chikpa donden to chang.
So in a monastery, it happens on a very like routine basis. So every day they do the same recitation at the same time. So even the birds already know about it. So they know exactly when you play these kind of instruments, they know that it's going to be a dharma offering. So then they come and they to eat the dharma, right? But then you play other kind of instruments where there is no dharma offering. They also know there's no dharma offering with those instruments, so they don't come.
Yeah. Okay, stop here. Who have a question? No?
Question.
Okay, yeah.
So, am I right in understanding that Mahakala will destroy all of the obstacles when we practice it, all of the obstacles to enlightenment? Say we have appearances that are frightening, like big demons or other scary stuff. Mahakala takes care of that through the practice. Is that correct?
How can we know if he has cleared away the obstacles? You mean the frightening appearance?
Yes.
Te hada chako marwa se chayo da mete. Yena sosu tina yege ichi una tesa pinga yore. Yena parche chama sesa ya tela korang jujin zongo dwa. Marang this ayam parche sa serto ya ke ti joten tesa ngoni ti tunjin raw chi chajin raw tes chango yore ma do. Le kaya mena suma ga se yo ya yo mare. 참참나 따당가 저디 에리 건공스는 누가 고보제 요래 공거살은 긴데 정도 요러와 긴데세나 다 겐든도 갑도 동지 다자 현재 요래 긴데세나 대종달도 가르르세나 양된 나린다나 버가마나 제 서로 마가 떠오르는 값서 된 공부 코로나 주성으로서 와 공부 코로나 주는 된 긴데 큰 긴데도 거대 주성으로서 와 디달다다 살은 긴데 용도 저때 던져진 참상을 낼 토차듯이 이거 소마가야 여사 말아.
답아서 그 계란을 건거 열어 봐.
말에 현직 정도래. 현직 긴데스는.
소송거래.
건공스는 사주바지 요런 공부 사주바. 딜라바나 제가 좀 탕카다다. 긴데 정도와지 요래.
딜라르 왜?
공부를 봐.
공부를. 신고 그래. 신송도 요래.
공포제가 라바는 현직 정도 되는 긴데 라버리지. 디현데 가르를 배주스 요요나 공파 전부 겐둔 촌도 제도 대 강강존 동네 다자지리지. 나렌다 공파 그래지. 대 테마텔 나렌다 공파게 못에 막 떠려와. 대문에서는 공포 소마를 송고지로. 대 코란야 주송리스 공포 코란야 주송리스. 코란 주디티 현데 키네 주송리스. Tisana tata tankana gongonga salang gindu zongdewati yores. Lel totsanas yayo mares yore.
So we don't really know whether or not he has cleared away all of these hindrances. We can't really see that. But it certainly helps to trust in that. But in terms of clearing away all the hindrances and all the obstacles, for that to happen, many causes and conditions, many conditions need to come together for that to happen. It doesn't just happen. And often when the karma is not present, then also often the protectors can't do really anything about it. Now there is this, in the old Nalanda University, for example, so what they have is this, normally in monasteries, they have this like kind of like piece of wood that they use for the gong, that we always use for the Sangha to assemble for the puja and so on. So there is this image of the Mahakala is actually holding that piece of wood for the gong. And so at that in the old days in Nalanda, when the Tirthikas came and they had many disputes, and there's like a kind of debating war was breaking out and everything was going down. So at that time it is that actually Mahakala, he escaped and he took this gong thing along with him. So he was all gone. And so now that is why he's seen with this in his hands also. But anyways, what this is to say is that if it comes down to karma, then there's also nothing you can do. Then even the deity, takes off.
Yeah. Okay. Start here.